As theater bounty goes, this is pretty rich. A hit Broadway show, lots of awards, and a high-caliber cast. The Trip to Bountiful is playing at the Cutler Majestic Theatre as part of the ArtsEmerson season. WGBH News arts editor Bowen recently sat down with members of the star-studded cast.
The Trip to Bountiful is a journey for bliss.
Everything seemed to work out today.
Actress Cicely Tyson is now reprising her recent Tony-winning role as Carrie Watts in ArtsEmerson's The Trip to Bountiful. She is a matriarch diminished in the cramped quarters of her 1950s Houston apartment. Independence lost, she longs for one last trip to her hometown, Bountiful, something her fragile son and domineering daughter-in-law, played by Blair Underwood and Vanessa Williams, won't allow.
I was so moved by it. The thought of this elder between her son and her daughter-in-law really suffocating. And she feels if she gets back home, she'll be out of the way, she'll be happy, they'll be happy.
For the cast, their own trips deep into the heart of Bountiful have been cause to consider whether it actually is possible to go home again.
I actually live in my hometown, so I did go back a while ago, and I'm still there. And yeah, it's in constant transition. It'll never be like it was for me, but there's also like a touchstone that you can say, okay, this is familiar, and I know that there will be some kind of support there.
To me, home is, yes, it is within, but it's also a physical place that I go back to. Now it's Petersburg, Virginia, where my folks live. It's Lynchburg, Virginia, where my great-great-grandparents lived. It's a whole historical essence that is, in context, that is part of home.
The play itself was a theatrical homecoming for Tyson. Bountiful marked her return to Broadway after a 30-year absence, and she was showered with accolades, including all of theater's top Best Actress awards. It's unbelievable, she says.
Why would it be surreal to you?
I don't know. I never think of it in terms of something that I've earned. It's so unlikely to have that happen.
Tyson's trip also appears to be a dip in the fountain of youth. Reportedly 90 years old, she literally runs around Bountiful stage and has zero patience, much like her character Mother Watts, in having people assist her.
Well, I've always been independent. Too independent, I think, almost to a fault. But I feel that while I have life still in my body, that I should be allowed to continue to live as best as I possibly can. And when I can, I'll know that. And you'll see that I know that.
She's really incredible. In addition to having just such a fantastic show, she really has this great perception about life at her age and how, to some degree, people become incapacitated because they allow people to do things for them. Or essentially, they allow themselves to be bullied. And she says, nope, I'm going to do everything that I can, including sit-ups and exercise on the treadmill every day. Yeah, she's crazy.
This is quite the cast.
Crazy, good, crazy.
Why did she come back 30 years later to Broadway to do this?
This is also a really great story. She had always wanted to do Trip to Bountiful. But it had always been a white story cast with white actors, so she kept saying to her people, find me my Bountiful. And then this opportunity came to her that they would do it with an African-American cast, and so she got her Bountiful. And it is this, just perfect Hollywood story where she goes to do this play. She's fantastic in it. She wins the Tony, what they call the Triple Crown in theater of all the Best Actress awards. And she's had all of these honors showered upon her, and at this point in her career, she's just absolutely luminous again.
So they've changed this a little bit since Broadway. What ways?
Well, Blair Underwood has joined the cast, replacing Cuba Gooding Jr. and a couple of other people. But I have to tell you that this show really, really is exceptional. I mean, you have what I appreciated about it is they could all be stereotypical characters or actors. I think if they wanted, Vanessa Williams and Blair Underwood, she could be he could be the browbeaten husband. She could be the snippant wife who has no allowances, but they've all found these nuances in this character. So you see these three actors who are really working at the top of their game, and it's such a heartwarming story, especially for this time of year.
Did he answer the question? Can you go home again?
You can go home again. And I think that each of the actors, it was really interesting how they all answered that in their own way too, that they really explored that themselves in order to find out who their characters are on stage. I think we all go home again to some degree.
All right, Bowen, thank you for that.